Okay. All right. All right. So let's go with Miss Tanisha. If you could take, where did we leave off? Page 38.
38. Okay.
And take us from 22 to 27, and then give us your synopsis.
You said 22?
Yes.
Okay. 22. And recognizing that, what is the
Ephemerally.
Ephemerally of it all. 23, one realizes the impossibility of holding on to anything. 24, including one's cumbersome ego identity. 25, when this need to grasp disappears. 26, then the fear of losing what one never really possessed vanishes. And 27, immortality is within reach. Remember, real fear is the lack of true faith. Oh, wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
what I get from this is that you kind of have to shed yourself of your ego, be your one true self, like in your nakedness,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to to be able to grasp and understand true faith or true existence.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments? Okay. Thank you, Tanisha. I'm going to add to that.
Was I close?
No, that's good. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what I'm looking for is what does this mean to you, and more importantly, practicality. If this is something that people can use today, because there's a lot of things that we get that we can't really use. I'm very practical. I want to make it apply to you, so that each and every person that reads a verse, or that it clicks something that they take from it that they can use today. Like we talked about gratitude, that's something you can do today. And I'm going to go back into the ego identity that Tanisha just mentioned. That's something that you can do today. So there's no wrong answer, Tanisha. It's just I'm looking for how does it apply to you? What do you get out of it? And what do you take from it? Does that make sense?
Got you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now what Tanisha just read on 23, one realizes the impossibility of holding on to anything, including one's cumbersome ego identity. This is when you get wrapped up in the physical you. And nowhere is that more apparent than when you go to a gym. And you'll see people wrapped up in the physical them and competing with the other physical thems of other people. Then this is all part of ego identity. When you go into meditation, as Tanisha said, you are shedding yourself of yourself and then standing in the real you. Now, the real you does not have to, I'm going to put a word up here, compete, competition. These are all of a low vibration. The ego is caught up in me, I, myself, and then the rest of the world. It sees itself as separate and distinct from you, from you, from you, from you. I am who I am. I'm me. I did this myself. That's all part of the ego. And then if another person comes and does something better than what you did, or has more than what you have, then you got this competition going on. You'll see this, I hate to bring him into it, but you'll see this with Trump. And to me, I find it humorous because he's locked here. He can't stand Bezos only because Bezos has more money. He couldn't stand Obama only because Obama was much smarter. He's locked in competition. And this makes you miserable because there's always going to be somebody a little worse than you or a little better, who has a little bit less money than you or have a little bit more. There's always you're never going to be at the top of absolutely everything. And so when you get locked in competition, it makes you bitter when you see people ahead of you, or if somebody gets an award that you feel that you should have got. This is where people are locked, and this exhibits a low vibration.
But isn't that how the way the world works now? Everybody's always in competition, right? Everybody.
Not everybody. I would. Okay, yeah. It's because this is a. All right. Well, let me hear Tony.
Say like that. No, Elon Musk. Say like Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
He's like the top, the richest person.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in competition.
Who was the richest person before him?
Jeff Bezos.
Who before him?
Wasn't really. No big.
And before him?
I don't remember.
But you just came with three people,
Yeah.
who each one lapped the other.
Yeah.
It was Khashoggi.
And they're doing this.
Yeah.
Who can make the
Right. And so now it's Elon Musk. Who's next?
It's Bill Bezos.
No. I mean, who's going to be after Elon Musk?
Jeff Bezos. It's gonna come back up top.
And you know that.
Yeah.
So Jeff Bezos isn't going to die tomorrow?
No, I don't know.
I doubt it. He's gonna go on top of it.
Maybe the Walmart.
It could be anybody.
That's the point. It could be anybody. Because you might say Bezos, but what if Bezos dies tonight?
And then it's not in there.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know. It can be what you just said. It could be anybody.
Yes.
Yes. So the thing is, you don't want to lock yourself into this. But as Sam was saying, but wait, isn't this how the world works?
Yeah, but it's not, what I'm saying is not the majority of the world is like that. Like, think for instance, okay, let's take sports, right? Everybody is competing for something. Either like on one team, people are competing to stay on the team, right? And then when they make teams, then they're competing against other teams. What's the ultimate goal? To win a championship. And then they have individual goals. So say if Tito and Saeed are the front runner for MVP, Tito's like, you know what, he ain't gonna beat me. I'm gonna throw more yardage, throw more touchdowns, try not to get sacked. And then he's like, man, you know what, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm just gonna throw this pass and get my team to win a championship. But then they're competing with each other. So at the end, not only did they get like a Super Bowl ring, but there's all other individual records and stuff. So it's like, what I'm just trying to say is like everybody knows competing, right? So like say
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So now competition to compete is all a low vibration. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
As Sam was saying, but isn't this how the world works? Most people are in this lane of conformity. Now, were we here last week or the week before? Week before. We talked about conformity and how if you conform, that is not the key to your success. And this is where everybody else, this is where most people are. Oh, you got to compete for this job. You got to be better than the next person. You got to compete. You got to bring the best of your competition to win this title, blah, blah, blah. And they overlook the real key to your success was what? No, you weren't here. What is, if conformance is not the key, conforming and competition is not the key to your success, we said something 2 weeks ago that is the key to your success.
freedom.
Being different.
What did you say? What did you say, Tanisha?
Just your difference, being different.
Okay, she's on the right. She's on the right track. There we go.
What was it?
Individuality.
As Tanisha was saying, your individuality, and the 2 weeks ago, we're talking about how you, Tito, has to be Tito, Saeed has to be Saeed, Tanisha has to be Tanisha, Lynn must be Lynn, Tony must be Tony, Son must be Son, because there's only one you. No one can be you. You've got to be the best you that you can be, and that's going to come out through your creativity, not through you conforming and not through you competing. Competing will take you right into this lane, conforming. No, that's not the same thing. Now you're creating a different path of competition. You're creating against your last best effort. Now, when you compete, people used to dislike on what we call Tamaray on the land, how Dr. York, when there were sporting events, he would give everyone a trophy. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't give everyone a trophy. If somebody won, you should give the people or the person who won the trophy, the recognition, the award, or the reward. And instead, Dr. York would give everyone a trophy. And this is why. When you have a winner, you also have what? Now, if there's 40 teams and one team goes to the championship and wins, how many teams are there that under the winner column? No. There's 40 teams, and one can only bring in the champion. There we go. Now, these 39 losers, what you just did in this competition is you just created an aura of negative feeling. So now this is the feeling, the emotion, the expression that is going out into the atmosphere in the universe versus this one team winning. They're here. You just created a whole bunch of not only the teams, but then you got to look at their fans. You just created this massive negative aura. Interestingly, when the World Cup happens and teams start piling up in this column, they found that domestic abuse also goes up. And that's because these people, the teams, the fans, are exhibiting some type of negative energy. Mr. Tony.
So like, why don't we take that negativity and turn it to positive? Yeah. And keep working to get better.
You work, okay, let's say these teams then they keep working to get better, and they keep working to get better to end up where, in which column? So now he comes over here.
There's still 39.
And you still got, yes.
So does that apply when you compete with yourself, like say like yesterday, today I want to be the best version of myself that I was yesterday.
Okay, all right.
So how's that, do I create that negative energy going back and forth with me?
All right, so now, all right. So Son is asking, so what if I'm competing against myself? Am I still creating this winner-loser cyclical cycle? It's a win-win. You're competing against your own best effort. That's a win-win. There's no loss there.
So there's no negative.
There's no negative.
So all day long.
There's no negative energy that's now radiating from you.
Nice.
You worked great yesterday.
And I'll be greater. So then what's after creative?
Right. And so, but okay, but the point is that you really want to be creative rather than competitive. Wait, is my hat crooked?
Yeah.
Which way is it?
Center, right?
Yeah.
Center.
Which, this way? Oh, okay. They happen to see it on that. Why you even tell me?
I didn't know, 'cause I thought you wanted to be the OG, you know.
I got all like this and
I thought you wanted to be OG. Like,
Right. right,
You were being creative.
right.
Are you
Exactly.
wrapped? Are
Right.
you wrapped into your clothing and your hat?
Exactly. Right. That is a good point. That is a very good point. Okay. That was Miss Tanisha. Thank you, Miss Tanisha. All right. What time is it? All right, Mr. Saeed. Gotta wake you up. Mhm. All right, so Mr. Saeed, if you would take, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take us to 38. 28 to 38.
Ultimate reality, 28. My children, I have introduced you to the existence of the all, 29. What some call quantum physics, 30. No, now
No, yeah, no ye.
know ye that the all alone is real. All gods, ye they called Buddha, Krishna,
Mhm.
Isis, Allah, Yahweh, Horus, Adonai,
Adonai,
Elo,
El Elo,
31. Amin, Ra, Anu, Kanum, Theos, Dios, Ubatala, Rab, Mazda, Elohim, Osiris,
uh-huh.
Allahumma, Supreme Being, Atun, Creator, Sabet, Shango, are all in all, and the Most High God. We call all is 39.
We call the all.
What the all is a source. God is God the Father who sent his Son to earth to make a way for us all. 32. The word of illusion is unreal and idol. Worship is unreal. Idol, worship is not. Evil for not idol can be all. 33. And an individual soul is eventually returned to all. 34. For all things exist within all. 35. From within all is where you came. 36. And with all,
And within.
and within all is where you will return. 37. The ultimate reality is beyond the reach of the limited intellect. 38. And within the reach of the unlimited intellect and knowable word.
Okay. All right. I know that was a lot. So I won't keep you up here a long time. Just give a short synopsis, Mr. Saeed, of what you just read.
It's all about all.
Okay.
So we're a part of all is a part of us.
Mhm.
There is a, we mentioned what he talked about is different gods and different names for, but we're on earth, we believe in different gods and superior powers, but at the end of the day, everything comes down to all.
Okay. All right. I won't keep you up here long. Thank you, Mr. Saeed. Does anyone have anything to add to that? Any questions? All right.
Yeah. So, know ye that all alone is real, all gods be they called Buddha. I thought Buddha was a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was teaching enlightenment and giving you a choice. But I don't know why people consider him like a god being. He
Mhm.
was like for instance, like a sensei, like someone who's teaching you martial arts.
Mm-hmm. Good too.
I work with a physician. She tell me he was teach you that you can be a so that's really you recognize me as a god. You be a god. Be a god.
Well, yeah, but fortunately, my exes, she's good. The whole family is good. So, when she always talked to us about it, so that, the mother was good.
Go ahead. Mhm.
I don't know, I think in my perspective, I think
Might what?
who paid you, right? But I think that, like, if there's all, I think that there's only one person or one being or whatever it is, but I don't believe that everybody is, under this God. There's only one, right? But who knows? If God's in me, then I'm, that's it. I don't believe in this preaching or that preaching or whatever. It's like, that's what I believe.
Okay, you said a couple of things.
Yeah, I know. I said a lot.
All right. So, what we want to move away from is believe. As Saeed just read, we mentioned Buddha, Krishna, Isis, Allah, Adonai, Yahweh, God, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, all these different names of that people have for God. Now, San mentioned that I believe this, I believe that. This is what we want to move away from, believe. Buddha was an enlightened master sent to East Indians. Muhammad, so too, was an enlightened being sent to the Arabs. Zoroaster was an enlightened being sent to the Persians. Confucius was an enlightened being sent to the Far East Asians. So every group has had their messenger, their guide, their warner. The last of which, for the past up until the year 2000, was Muhammad to the Arabs. And that's why they call him the last of the prophets, or the Nabis. Then the cycle starts again. What cycle am I talking about? We talked about, I won't go into it here, but we talked about a 24,000 year cycle clock. The cycle starts again, and it started with Pa Nabab Yanun, AKA Dr. York. At the very top of this new 24,000 year cycle, he was sent and initiated for the Afaf Reye Ka'u, or Africans, or as you call us today, the Blacks. Now, what San was saying was, I don't think, there's just like this one God or whatever. And that is correct. That, how do I explain this? There is no one God, whether it be God the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, whether it be Allah, whether it be El Elo, whether it be Yahweh. There is no one God that's sitting up there on his kursi, his chair, and looking down upon the rest of the world and saying, San's team is going to win today, and this team is going to lose. And then over here, this person is going to have a good birth, and this person's baby is going to die. There is no one God sitting up there. There's no one God sitting up there, this being that the master orchestrator. And as what Dr. York was saying, we are all in the all. Now, there is the all of existence, and you are a part of it. You, Tanisha, Len, San, Tony, Travinci, Saeed, Tito have come from the all. The all is you all's parents. You've come from the all. And you came down from this oneness. From one, then you started dividing. So that now, as we all came from the all, Now we started dividing to where there is an Amun or a Ray or a Yusuf as one of my many names, or a San, or now we're all individual units. Now the journey is back to the all. And then you come back to the all as a highly developed unit of, I don't want to say energy, but of life. And you will experience it all. So the God that you thought you were worshiping, you will actually become and surpass, because you are going to experience it all on your journey. Even those negative and evil people who go to what people call hell, hell is only a form, it's called a burning, because you have to burn out whatever that lust or whatever that thing is that sent you to this state, not a place, but this state. Each person's hell, according to Dr. York, will be according to what you believed in your life. There really is no place that you get thrown into. It's when you transition, you will look at a screen of your life. You, Saeed, will be looking at a screen of your life, and you can't lie to yourself. And at the end of that screen, you'll say, I was a miserable person. I was a terrible person. You condemn yourself to this. And then whatever your vision of this hell is where you'll find yourself until you burn that out. That's why it's called a burning. And then your energies start moving.
So now I have to burn things where I can move objects.
I keep believing I can do it.
You keep saying that. Let me think about that for a minute.
I can move objects in my mind.
All right. Let me go to Tony first. What? Speak up.
You don't have a belief.
If you don't have a belief, that's even better, because as I said, we want to move away from belief. Now, let me speak to that for a minute, and I'm gonna correct this drawing, because here I have the all, and then here I have you, but it's really not like this because you are actually in the all. But let me go, so Tony is saying, what if you don't believe nothing? That is actually better, because in this period of time, we are moving away from there's another one. Faith. That's it. That was what I was looking for. Hope. Okay. So what we want to do is move away from, or not what we want to do, we are doing it. We're moving away from belief, faith, fiction, and hope. And this is with the advent of the internet. Now people can look up things and be able to determine, confirm a something, be able to get the facts, and be able to verify truths. And by confirmation in facts and verification, it is removing belief and faith and fictions and hope. This was the gamut of religion. All religions talk about you have to believe, the believers, you have to have faith, you have to have hope, but you don't have to have scientific confirmation, you don't have to have facts, and you don't have to have verifiable truths. Now the script is flipped. People want confirmations, people want facts, people want verifiable truths. They don't want to hear religion. They want something that actually works for them. And this is why it's now time that all of you are here, because all of you want to learn how to grow yourselves, whatever it is you want to do. Let me go back to San. All right, so San wants to be able to move things with his mind.
Practicing that meditation.
Okay.
That's my
He gets
ancestors.
bored because he's not listening to
Right. If that is a strong desire within you, don't ignore that. I don't know where. I'll say this. When you have a strong desire within you, that is the all knocking upon the door of your conscious, trying to get you to
Realize it?
manifest it. But it might not be in the way that you think it is, but you have to go down that path. It's neither good nor bad, but it's something that has to be expressed. And as we talked about again in previous classes, if you ignore it, it's coming, I hate to say it's coming from the all to you because you are in the all, but it's coming through the all and through you as a part of the all to be expressed. Now, you might say, well, I just don't have time to do it, and you might ignore it. And then it goes back into the bank, so to speak. And then somebody else picks it up and does it. And then that's when you say, oh man, I was thinking of that. I had that very same idea. So when you get an idea to express and to create and to do, and you don't do it, it goes back into the bank. And then somebody else on that same mental vibration picks it up, and then they do it. They might come out with a new product, a new book, a new service, a new whatever. And then you'll see it on TV and say, I had that very same idea, but you didn't do anything with it. So it went back into the bank, right? So now you're saying you got this strong desire to move things with your mind.
What's that called?
That's called telepathy, not telekinesis. Yeah, that's telekinesis. So for some reason, you keep bringing up telekinesis. You, San, have to explore that. I would say look at Deepak Chopra, because he also had something where you can move objects with your mind, but you got to do your own research into it to see what is this that is knocking on the door of your conscience.
Yes.
You can do it tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, I can do that.
There's you could use input devices from your brain, but it's a device, just like your phone. You attach it to the head, and you can move things around.
But I want to physically move things, not just on the phone.
No. You physically you can move it. You can control a robot. So you can turn on its heat and stuff just with your mind.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that.
What about this? I just put on a VR set and I just act like it was like technically I'm using my mind.
But that's
With some
cheating.
extra power.
Find that one. Yeah, I'm with you, but San says that's cheating.
It's a step further.
But it's cheating because if I can move
So
objects,
you have a company called Neuralink.
yeah. But look, okay, so this is
So
what
Neuralink, you could actually even manipulate other animals like a pig or something. Look it up.
nice. So what I'm thinking about, right? Like I want to be able to move something. Like I lift this table over my mind, I can step on it and say, "Let's go."
Watch this.
Right?
I'm not got this.
No,
my mind.
no,
With my
that's
mind.
physics. All right, that's gravity. We're not talking about that.
Mhm.
Right? So I won't be like, okay, you know what? That car is in my pocket. I can move out the way. Put my car.
Mhm.
You know, and then I can be able to be on something that's like, you know what? I need to go somewhere fast. And I don't have to worry about,
Google
you
Neuralink.
know,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just like, I have
Neuralink.
Yeah, I have
Neuralink.
those things in like, and I always thought about like, I always thought about myself, you know what? One of these days, I'm going to project something out of my hand and shoot fire out of it. I don't, it's just thought. It just comes out.
Yeah. I know it's a thought,
I
but
think I'm crazy.
no, it's not crazy. I won't say.
Through imagination.
I'm being creative, right?
Yeah, what I'm telling you is
Use anything else.
what, son,
No, I don't want, no,
Yeah.
no.
yeah, son, what I'm telling you is that, yeah, you got to explore it because there's something there that you have a strong desire to express. But as I was saying, it might not be in the form that you're currently thinking it. A lot of times when you start investigating something, it becomes much clearer. But as long as you're not investigating it, your vision lies on the surface. What you got to do is develop it, dot the I's, cross the T's, and bring out your vision.
Okay. And when it happens, I'm like, told y'all so.
All right, so let me see. Saeed was reading. Let me go over what he just read. The all, quantum physics, supreme most high God.
It's 12:04. We got these.
All right, yeah. All right, so we'll end with.
Yeah.
All right, so the all. What we were talking with Saeed ended with was the all, and it's very important for you to at least think on the all your Allahs, your Jesuses, your gods, your fathers, your sons, your Holy Ghosts, your Osiris, your Asets, your Horuses, your Confucius is all in the all, and you too are in the all. The all is where you have come from, and to the all is where you will return. The all is in you. The all is not this energy or whatever. The all is all. The all knows absolutely everything about you. The all knows how many hairs you have on your head, how many cells are in your body. There's nothing about you that the all does not know. Now, knowing that and realizing that the all knows all about you, you have, I want to say someone, you have, I don't want to say a being because all beings are in the all. You have the all that you can talk to receive your answers. It's just you have to recognize the all. All of your ancestors are in the all. It is all in the all. And the all is, I don't want to say living, because all life is in the all. But what you were calling God, you have to, this is going to be a journey. You have to set down the gods, the lords, the Buddhas. You got to set down all of that because all of that is in the all. And you are in the all. The all knows all about you. So whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to go, whatever it is you want to grow, you have to start your conversation with the all. Not as though the all is God, because all gods are in the all. I know that's a lot. I won't say, do you get it? Because it took me a while to get it. So it's something that you got to think on, contemplate, and meditation is the key. Learning to control, slow down the ramblings of your mind. Each day, each person should meditate the number of minutes according to your age. Yeah. Yep, 15 minutes each day. And what you'll find is that the things you stressed about, you don't stress about anymore. The things you were depressed about, they don't depress you anymore. You'll find yourself rooted in the present and enjoying each moment of your life. Depression will be a thing of the past. Anxiety will be a thing of the past. And you'll be able to grow your life because now you'll have clarity. And on that will end. Well, no. Any other questions, Lynn or Tanisha?
No, but I'm interested in more.
Okay. Mr. San?
Nope,
So don't
I know what to
focus
do
on
now.
the past. So don't focus on future, focus.
on the now.
On the now. Yes. And this is perfect for you at being 15 because you'll be able to grow into being centered. A lot of us, we at 15, we were taught to worry or to stress, but I think this is perfect for you. Mr. Saeed, any questions?
So
Oh,
like, why may if I like focus? Because like, okay, since I wrestle,
Mhm.
why about focus on the next wrestling tournament? Even though, because like it's in a week, so is it really?
okay. In the present, when you're focused in the present, the future does not exist. There is no in a week. All right. So now, what Tony has to focus on right now is perfecting. It's called perfecting your craft. I'll tell him what I mean. All right. So you got to perfect your craft. So whatever it is, the wrestling moves you're doing, try to do it better. If you're going to, whenever you practice, try to do it better than you did it before. Not that you're trying to do it better than Joe or Bob or any of them. Do it better than you've done it before until you've mastered it. Mr. Tito. All right. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your attendance. We'll end there because I got to get ready for another class coming up. So I want to thank you all, and we'll see you next week.